Only LeBron James. Hey LeBron, thanks so much for joining us again on Storytime, sir. We really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me back so soon, DJ.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Now we've got just a few questions for you about your new book if you're up for it.
Of course, ask away.
All right, cool. So first of all, congratulations on the release of your latest book, We Are Family. Can you tell us about it?
It's about a group of kids who come from different walks of life, different households, and they all have their struggle. They all have their own personal struggle, family struggle, but through the sport of basketball and through a community, they end up intertwining with one another and join forces that nobody ever seen coming. And they become a group of friends. They become what we call a brotherhood. It's pretty unique.
Got it. And I'm curious, what prompted you to write We Are Family, and why did you specifically target it to middle school aged youth?
I specifically targeted middle school. It's because I feel like those are the midsection of like adolescent years. It's like you left elementary, so you're trying to grow up a little bit more, and you have not quite got to become a teenager yet. So you're kind of like in the middle. So you're kind of learning a little bit about yourself, or you don't know anything about yourself, and you're trying to, cipher who's your friends, who you want to get along with, who's your favorite teachers, things of that nature, and you're kind of just growing through so many emotions and so many things on a day-to-day basis. You just kind of just juggling. So I feel like, but you also understand, some things that you can't understand in elementary. Your mind isn't quite there yet. But I think once you get 11, 12, 13, your preteen age, you start to kind of understand some things that's going on in your life and in your surroundings. So that's kind of why I picked the age.
Now, I'm sure everyone is on the edge of their seat wanting to find out more about We Are Family. Would you mind giving us a sneak peek?
I'll be happy to.
I am LeBron James, and we are reading some of We Are Family. I'm getting to my reader's comfortable position. Jaden dribbles out wide and picks up the speed as he starts to drive. He's coasting, pushing, just a few steps outside the lane. Then at the last minute, he looks up to see Roddy slides into the paint, his wide shoulders forming an impenetrable wall just in front of the basket. Without hesitation, Jaden picks up his dribble and stops in his tracks. "What are you doing?" Roddy says. I was driving. I was doing what you said, but then I saw you, and what? And I didn't know you were gonna guard me. So you're saying you can't drive if someone is guarding you? Jaden sighs, shifts his weight from his right leg to his left. "No, I didn't say that. I just wasn't expecting you to step in front of me, and you're big, way bigger than me. Nobody I play is gonna be that big." "Okay, help me understand then." Roddy grabs the bill of his cap and slides it around to the back, freeing his face of the shadows that have been crisscrossing his deep brown skin. "I see somebody getting up when it's still dark outside, putting in the work while everybody else sleeps. And I assume he's trying to ride this thing till the wheels fall off. Play D1, make millions in the NBA, take care of his family." He pauses, let his expression go hard. "But maybe I got it all wrong." Jaden waits for Roddy to say something else, to ask a question perhaps, but he has nothing to say. He only waits. "This is what I want," Jaden says finally. "I want to make it to the league. I want to take care of my mom and my grandma. I want to make it so my mom never has to work again. I mean, she'll probably work anyways just because I think she likes to stay busy, but I want her to work for fun, not because she has to." Jaden stops talking, then he lets his eyelids drop. He can feel it coming again, the stabbing sense that he's not doing enough for the woman who has done everything for him. "Okay," Roddy says, "that's exactly what I thought. But let me ask you this. Do you think it's going to be easy to make all that happen?" Jaden laughs. "Nah, man. Of course it won't be easy. I got a cousin that played at Wake Forest. We're not close or anything, but I know how hard it was for him to go play in the ACC. He was hitting the weight room first thing in the morning, then conditioning in the afternoon, going to practice, watching film." Roddy holds up a giant hand to cut off Jaden's words, and the hand, as Jaden can see, as if the moon has eclipsed the sun. "This ain't what I'm talking about. The gym? The weight room?" That's the easy part. It's everything else in life that's gonna be hard. I don't know what you mean, Jaden says. Once again, Roddy takes the ball from Jaden's hands. This right here, he says, holding the brown orb high. You got this, it's in you. You're a baller, and balling comes easy. But being able to hoop ain't gonna be good enough to go to college or to the league. Trust me on that. What does it take then? The main thing, Roddy says, is that you gotta know how to see a challenge and can drive into the goal anyway. There's a minute of silence before Jaden, now embarrassed, says quietly, like when you step into the lane, right? I stopped when I should have kept going and tried to score, huh? Exactly, Roddy says. All you knew was that I was bigger and stronger than you, but you didn't know what happened if you would have actually went up against me. I could have defended you close or forced a miss, or could have blocked your shot completely. But on the flip side, you could have driven in, shot around me, and scored anyway. Or most likely, and especially if I was a kid your age, I would have fouled you, you've been on the line. Roddy fires the ball back at Jaden, who catches it in his chest. The point is, you can't stop, no matter how big the dude is in the paint. Jaden nods, and with the fire in his belly, he dribbles back outside the arc. I'm ready now, he says. Watch. I wish I could, little man, Roddy says, glancing at his phone, but I got a feeling you'll probably need to get ready for school. In an instant, Jaden's stomach clenches tight, like Graham's teeth when she catches Jaden playing NBA 2K instead of studying. He'd completely forgotten about the time. Now Grams is going to kill me, and what a slow, torturous death it would be. He can see her now. You're a student athlete, not an athlete student, Jaden. Don't ever get it twisted. With his mouth dry like sandpaper and nervous perspiration dotting his hairline, Jaden quickly thanks Roddy for talking to him and waves goodbye. At that point, there's only one thing left to do. Run. Storytime with LeBron James. We are family. Get your copy.
Amazing. That's right. Get your copy and your shoes too. Thank you so much for being here, LeBron. It means a lot to us. And congratulations again on your new book, We Are Family.
Absolutely. I hope everyone enjoys the book.
I'm sure we will. All right, so you heard from the man himself. We're so glad King James could join us, and thank you all for tuning in too. Now that's it for this episode of Storytime. As usual, we appreciate your company.
Starting to feel like a Laker?
I am a Laker. I'm definitely a Laker. I feel it, and I'm happy as hell to be one.
If I just have one ground rule for the interview, there'd be no cursing or swearing. Please watch your mouth.
No, the lady set me straight.
Okay.
The lady set me straight last night.
You already knew the rules. As a finely tuned athlete for years, you've worked on your body. Were there any times in your life or in your career where you started to put more emphasis on the mental fitness side of things?
Yeah, I would say probably the last 8 years. And the one instance that I could think about right off top was after the loss to Dallas in the 2011 finals. I knew that the physical side wasn't gonna just be enough. And also the level of scrutiny that I was dealing with and how I got out of my comfort zone. I lost the love of fun for the game. And I knew that was the mental side. And once I started to not only build the physical side, which I pretty much knew how to do, but also elevate the mental side of it, not only just I don't want to say the mental side of the game, but the mental side of the approach, the physical fitness of the mind, and how to have the mind as strong no matter what's going on, no matter the circumstances, no matter the scrutiny, no matter the adversity, to always kind of be even keeled. I think that's when it kind of changed for me.
We've seen you in heated playoff series be sitting on the bench, completely still, completely calm, eyes closed, collecting yourself. How have mental exercises like that helped you succeed in your career?
I think it's helped tremendously, Dave. I mean, to be able to be in a packed arena on the road with 20,000, 22,000 people, screaming fans, going crazy, the level of the pressure of the game, to be able to find a moment, 2 minutes or 1 minute or whatever, 30 seconds, to be able to just to close my eyes and just kind of relax myself and calm myself, take deep breaths, give myself an opportunity just to have an inner personal self it's meditation basically. Has worked tremendously for me in my career.
When we talk about the playoffs, I think back to the last time you made it, 2018. Played 82 games in the regular season, first time in your career. Got to the finals for the 8th time straight in your career. And it seemed like the special sauce in between games was sleep for you. And I know that the Calm app can aid you in your sleep. How do you use it to monitor your sleep or track your sleep now?
Well, I would be wrong if I didn't go without mentioning my wife. She introduced me to the app over a year ago, and ever since over a year ago, I have not, and this is a complete true story, I have not either went to sleep at night or taken my daily naps without turning on the app. It's something that calms my mind. It's something that puts me in a very calm state of mind to be able to get as much sleep and deep sleep, REM sleep, as possible. And one thing that I learned early on in my professional career is that the best recovery, as much ice, as much cold tanks, as much massaging, as much whatever you can do can never ever substitute for sleep. That is the greatest recovery for an athlete like myself, for athletes all over the world, for people all over the world. The greatest recovery is actual sleep. That's when the mind and the body is at ease. That's when the body is recovering. And for me, I take sleeping very seriously.
Speaking of sleep, I want to talk about the Lakers, a team that was slept on, I think, by some people.
We still sleep. We still sleep. Let's keep it down, Dave. Keep it down. We still sleep.
Well, I mean, listen, you guys are taking team photos on the plane, ugly sweater party, a lot of team camaraderie off the court. On the court, you and Anthony Davis became the first pair of Laker teammates since Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant to go 70-plus points in back-to-back games. You know the history of the game. You know the history of that franchise. What does that mean to you?
I mean, for me, Dave, I think you've had conversations with me. Anytime I'm able to be linked with the greats, myself and AD, to be linked with Kobe and Shaq, I think along that process, along that journey, you sit back and you're like, wow. Because when we're in it, we have no idea. We had no idea what we were doing. We're just trying to win ball games, put ourselves in a position where our teammates feed off of us. But when you have moments like that throughout a season or throughout your career, sometimes you're able to sit back and appreciate it. Sometimes you're not. But to hear it from you and to see it, it's pretty cool. And I mean, we love our team. It starts with me and AD both on and off the floor, how our approach is both on and off the floor, and it trickles down to everybody else. But everyone is an MVP. Everyone has a role on our team, and everyone's accepting their role and being an MVP in their role, and you can't ask for more than that.
And you've accepted a new role. Year 17, playing point guard for the first time in your career, leading the league in assists. I want to know, is there like some sort of washed king list that you keep at home in the summertime, all the people that were casting aspersions? What's fueling this run for you?
I think myself. I mean, I'm fueling myself. My teammates is fueling me. My kids is fueling me. And the list is fueling me as well. But, for me, to be able to be in a position where my teammates trust me to handle the ball and be the point guard, I have not done it since probably like 2 weeks into my rookie year. I did it for a little bit, and Paul Silas knew that I needed to be on the wing. But for me to do it in my 17th year with the amount of minutes that I've played, with the amount of games that I've played, and my teammates to trust me, it means a lot.
LeBron, you mentioned your family fueling you. Of course, you're a family man, raising 3 beautiful children. Yeah. Your wife, Savannah, your oldest, Bronny, is going to be traveling halfway across the country with Sierra Canyon High School to play against your alma mater, St. Vincent, St. Mary. I know you hope to get there, weather permitting.
Yeah.
But what emotions is this event, this game, stirring up?
A lot. Because obviously everybody know that St. Vincent St. Mary is when I became, or people started to recognize me from a national standpoint. And for it to be, 15 years later, and my son is about to play a high school game versus my alma mater in our home state. The only thing that would have been more emotional is that if my son was playing St. Vincent St. Mary at the LeBron James Arena in Akron. that would have been like, I think it would have been too much. I think it would have been too much, but it's just a pretty cool thing, man. You don't know how things will line up in life, and it almost seemed like it's just all coming back full circle. Seeing my oldest son doing the things that he's doing, I'm proud of him and his basketball club. They got a great team, but more importantly, they're just great kids.
You once said that you really enjoyed playing at Staples Center on Christmas Day, but it's always been as an opponent.
Yeah.
This will be the first time you get to do it as a Laker.
Right.
What's that moment going to be like for you?
I mean, Christmas is definitely one of the greatest gifts that we have. One of the best dates that we have. And for me to be a Los Angeles Laker and play inside Staples Center, to see all that purple and gold, to have all our families there, for us to be able to, to play the game that we love. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's not much more that you can ask for. For me, personally, being a basketball player, being a Laker, and hosting a home game inside of Staples is going to be one heck of a day.
Of course, you guys are playing the team that you played on opening night,
Yeah.
one of the few teams to get your number this year. But they're going to be fully healthy this time around, with Paul George now playing. Can you just break down that matchup? What are we going to expect to see on the court?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's two fierce teams for sure. It's two competitive teams, two competitive coaching staffs, and so I mean, you can expect a lot of competition. And may the best team that night wins. You don't know how the ball is going to go in. You don't know what's going to happen